Hello, I am Asher Ninja, and this is episode 2 of How to Total War Empire. Total War Warhammer 2 Empire. Play this as this. Yes. So, we have, what have we done? We got to a point where we've actually taken over this province. Got it all nicely set up. So essentially the next thing you've really got to look at is growth. So we're only 9 turns in. We're getting ourselves up to tier 3 now, which is good. We want to get up to tier 4 as fast as possible. So we've only got 2 growth buildings in at the moment. We've got the livestock pens, because that plus 50 growth means this total here goes faster, and that's really what we need, what we want. When Isleheart, which is this fella over here, gets some more growth, so that'll be next turn we'll have 1 growth. We'll be able to put that up a level and therefore get more growth there as well. Later on, growth becomes much less of a thing, because once you've got all of these up to tier 3 and this guy up to tier 5, you don't need growth anymore, and screw that. So we don't have a great deal of income, but that is actually fine as well. We don't need a huge income right at this point. We really just want to grow first. We do have a quest battle over here, but we're going to let things settle a bit first. We'll probably have hopefully have a few ambushes and that sort of thing. And we will run from there. Hopefully in the next few turns I'll be able to start talking about what we're going to do with the economy. Now I go to the end turn at the moment. I am no economist. I barely know the word economy. My version of making sure my economy runs well, since I'm really shit with numbers, which lots of people will attest to, is basically make number go up. Not minus, we want to go up. We need green number, go up. That's basically my theory on it. The Empire have a really good way that you can do that. You've got all the usual build money buildings, trade with people, all of those exciting things. And you want to make sure you build plenty of money buildings, especially in this province that we're currently sitting in. Because what will happen in the future is we'll be recruiting, we have 4 different types of heroes we'll be able to recruit. We'll be able to get Empire Captains, we'll be able to get Empire Wizards, we'll be able to get Battle Priests, and we'll be able to get, what's the other one called? Witch Hunters. Now, all of those have a certain trait. So when you look at traits, so we look, we've only got one we can look at the moment. So his trait is that he's the Emperor. It's +8 leadership. It's a shit trait. However, one of the traits that does come up for heroes, look under here, we can't even see any yet because we can't recruit any. There's one called Noble. Noble is bloody awesome. And it will be better to tell everyone about it when I can actually recruit some nobles. So for now, what we're going to do is upgrade that village, or that to a village, I think it is. So it starts out a hamlet, village, town. That's a town. Yeah, interesting way of doing it, but yeah. So things like, yeah, your Empire Captains. What else do we have here? Once we get Altdorf to this rank 3, this is what we'll be able to build. So we'll be able to get Captains. When we upgrade that, be able to get wizards, and I'll show you why it is so good for the Empire on that, with that building. Then when we get to number 4, we're going to have another wizard building, which will be pretty awesome, and witch hunters. So lots of options for heroes. Most of those heroes I don't put into an army, and again, I'll show you why. So right now things are cruising along a little slowly. Hopefully we'll get somebody to come and attack us soon. Now, what we're not going to be doing is upgrading Uberstreak, our small town just here. So I have a good reason for that, and that basically is it is our little free town for people to come and attack. So it's got almost no garrison, and it's a nice, juicy little bit of steak hanging down in front of you. You just want it perfectly seasoned, just so lovely. Except it's got a hidden bear trap around it. So as soon as you put your finger on it, bam! Bear trap snaps closed, and you get your ass kicked. That's the idea here. So that way we won't have the armies that will be coming through this pass here buggering off over to Eilhart or Grunberg or anything like that. They're not going to go wandering off to somewhere where it's going to be harder for them to actually win the battle. They will come here. Exactly like that. That is exactly what we want to do. Our army's trash, so it doesn't matter if we lose a few. So just auto-resolve, and so as you can see here, got money, we'll replenish. So yeah, so we've gained a bunch of cash from that. We've got 1,000 prestige, we can get one more Imperial Authority. We'll dispatch, we'll do that. We do have enough money. We've got to keep that always above 2,000 gold, because occasionally those dilemmas will come up and they'll say things like, it'll cost you 2,000 gold to do blah, or 1,000 prestige, which we can't afford. So we want to make sure we keep the gold up at this point. We're not upgrading Uberstreak still.
I command here.
He did well with his ambush. Let's see. Let's give him Leader of Renown. We'll push him through the blue line still to get his 3 points in a quartermaster. Then we can work on something else. We won't worry about that. What are we after at the moment? We're going that technology. So about once we're getting mages and that sort of thing, we're gonna go into the money technology for assembly line and Imperial University, so that we can get more captains and more battle wizards, and it will all make sense in the future. Now let's see, what do we have? We'll have a quick. No, we're not going to do anything with that at the moment. So these are the current elect accounts. Most of them don't really like me. That's fine. Oh, he's got no fealty with me. What the hell? Anyway, of course he doesn't. He's of Empire. Where was I? Diplomacy. Let's have a quick look into diplomacy. They won't do anything. They're friendly. It's
welcome, my countrymen.
Technically, they should want to trade, but
all right.
We'll leave them. Wow, their strength rank is 1. That doesn't happen very often.
What?
Oh, okay.
Surely an agreement will be reached. I don't agree.
Let's see if we can get any kind of agreements at all. No.
You know.
Nobody wants to play friendly with me at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got stuff with them, so we're trading with them. Carrick Norn, for some reason, have decided to come and trespass, but whatever. We'll leave them to do their thing. I could probably take Helmgard if I wanted to, but I actually want to keep those armies coming at me. There should be an Orc town here, and they'll probably send armies at me as well. And I find that's, instead of having a sack city or something like that just to level up on, I find actually having the armies come in and just ambushing them over and over again works much better. Just like drinking a tasty, tasty coffee. That always works well, I think. Ugh. So that's basically how it'll run, but I do want to show it. So Bretonia and Marienburg having a bit of a biff over there. You can actually, so if you do it right with Bretonia, you can actually go from fighting a Marienburg army just on their border at the start of their campaign. You take that army out, then you rush your army down here to Marienburg, and you'll be able to take Marienburg on turn 1. And then on turn 2, if you've done other things right, so you recruit yourself a lord up in your main city up there, get a couple of troops into it, and bring all of that down, and you'll be able to take out their little orc settlement up there as well by turn 2. So a lot of interesting things you can actually manage to pull off with them. Alright, as I was saying before, make sure you've got 2 grand. So this will get us extra fealty with Stirland, and we join in the defence. I don't know if they've fixed the... So when you send an army onto other people's territory, you lose diplomacy via trespassing. Now, the problem is when you do these kinds of things, a lot of the time that means there's a negative diplomacy, but because it increases their fealty, it doesn't really matter. Once fealty is at 10, they offer to confederate no matter what. If you're at war with them, whatever. So we'll sacrifice our 2 grand, and we'll just auto-resolve it. I don't care if they win or lose, really. They'll probably be able to take that back. What we could do, actually, if we wanted to, if I had an army in the area, I'd actually send an army down to retake that. But I'll let them do it themselves. Because then you can gift it back to them and get even more fealty out of it. Yeah, so that's fine. I'm not too concerned. Because that army just disappears once it's done that anyway. We'll see. Do we still get that diplomacy negativity? Yeah, so you can see it's got trespasses against Stirland there, that -10. That's that from helping them, basically. But they get a plus. You get a +10 for your battle support there as well. So it kind of evens out. But
I will listen, but my time is
yeah,
short.
I think it's a bit silly that you usually get a negative at all. But whatever. I didn't design it. That's a lot I didn't do, actually, so...
Summon the Elector Counts.
Alright, we're getting closer. We're gonna have our upgraded Altdorf any minute now, so that'll be this turn. And we're going to go through and we're going to spend our money. And hopefully still have 2 grand in the bank afterwards. Hopefully I don't just get overzealous and go, oh, she'll be right, if I only just had a dilemma. Because I'm pretty sure it's you've got the same percentage of a chance of a dilemma on every single turn. You could get lucky and just have one turn after turn after turn, and then you're fucked. And that would be bad. Bad. But that's fine. Fine for now, though. Someone else might take that. I'm not too concerned. There you go, they took it back. I wouldn't have been able to get an army down there in time anyway. You can see that it's back in their hands. When it's a capital that gets attacked, it's a lot better. Just because there's already more defences there, and a lot of the time, it's a nice slam dunk and you can get most of your money back. You do win those battles. You get them. And there we go. Civil war prevented. I can't prevent a civil war. So that's a problem. I can go to war myself with one of them. I don't think that's a good idea personally. I'm going to do nothing. I lose fealty with Hochland, but that's okay. Hochland's way over there. But I gain it with Midland, who is my friend in the fridge right north of me, so we'll do nothing. I'll be trying to come through pretty soon. That's fine. Those savage orcs like to pop through. Say hello. Alright, now what I want to do is, first things first, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. We need to get that started building. Oh, that's right. I need that as well at some stage, but we won't worry about that just yet. I've only got 2,000 gold, so I won't yet do anything there. We'll give our archers and huntsmen, or not huntsmen, archers and crossbows rifled barrels, because, yeah, that makes sense somehow. We won't be upgrading settlement, and we'll move along. Move along once more. Now, their war doesn't really affect me. I can't even actually make a military alliance with them under the new fealty way of doing things. You can see there, I've got my 4 fealty with them now. So shiny and new and pretty. I don't know if that's... There we go. Treaties, recent events, 10. Oh, well, that's we're improving with them, so we actually might be able to get that... I know what it's called. Don't prompt me. Trade agreement. Trade agreement, yes. Be able to get a trade agreement with them sometime soon. So, the goal in this particular episode is to sort out what will be the basis of our economy. Finally, since they've left, now we can actually might be able to hold our bloody ambush. It's interesting. I've played this a few times where the secessionists come out of Helmgart, come to take Ubershriek, discover you, and then just go. Yeah, and they do that like I've had it happen for like 4 turns in a row until I finally actually get the ambush in. And I just kind of let it happen. No big deal.
I am France. They will obey.
I'll pop him back in ambush stance. Let's see. So that'll get me an extra 200. That'll get me an extra 125. That doesn't get me extra money. I don't have enough for that, and that is something we definitely want. Let's see. I think I'll actually fortify that border there first. How much is that? 2.5 grand. No, we'll leave it. Next turn we'll be able to get some more thingies. Actually, how much is that? That's 1,000. We'll leave it. I'll leave it. A little bit of slow play to get things just sort of slipping along. Get our province nicely set up, and then we can be off with some biffo. Once we have the bright wizard or the wizard shack going on, we'll be able to really start down our road of sorting out the money. And you'll see exactly why we've got to have all of the money buildings all of the time. Once we get through the end turn. That feels like it takes forever. Blah. Yeah. Come on, Skull Smashers. Come play. On. Gives me more things to kill then. And I get more levels, and Carl can have his... You know what I mean? Failed at my ambush.
So,
that's okay.
yes, to unite the provinces.
We'll just try again. Let's see. That's building in there. We want... Still don't have enough for that. Let's build you. 2 more turns there. Or do I want to try getting an Empire Captain? Because that'll get me Empire and Halberdiers and things of that nature. I think we might sit on the money for this to actually... Yeah, we'll spend 1,000 upgrading that farm. Increase our growth. But otherwise, we'll leave that. Wizenland, you're going down. Going down.
Not in my name.
Nope. Midland, you're liking me more now. Come on.
Only Sigma's
But
god
apparently, despite that, he doesn't want us to. They don't want to trade with me even more now. Weird. Not entirely sure how that works, but whatever. Midden Stag. That's right. That's one of the new towns they added in. They added a whole bunch of new towns. So this basically was empty before. These three here didn't exist. There's one just there that also didn't exist. Gorsel did. Middenstag didn't exist. And there's a few over here that didn't exist. So Mordheim had been put in an earlier patch. Essen did exist. Nagenhof didn't. The Moot did, which is here, but it was part of this province. Now it's its own province. So, been some interesting changes in the last little while. There was just recently a patch to, literally it came through yesterday, patch to nerf the Hunts Marshal a bit. Apparently he was just a little bit overly killy on everything, rather than the thing that he'd been specifically decided for. Alright, so I've increased my ambush success chance and my ambush defense chance, which is always a nice little thing. It's one of those things that, so there's a few traits you can get that are fairly easy. There's one called Sea Legs, which gives you some more movement range. And really you just have to be sitting in a boat for multiple turns. There's one you get from being in, I don't know if there's one from in camp stance, but there's one from being in march stance, like they are. I think that one includes extra movement as well. Movement's actually quite important here, because if you can be faster than an enemy army, then you're going to be able to chase them down. You're going to be able to wreck stuff a lot easier. Ah, foiled again. But they don't get a chance to recruit, so I'm not interested in +5 of that.
My orders are to move. I command here.
Let's shift him a little bit.
I see no other option.
Just for funsies. Let's see if we... Yep, so we want our artillery. Ooh, I'm going to break one of my rules. I'm going to go down below 2,000 here. But that's okay. We are very, very stable when it comes to that. Next turn we'll have our wizards coming along. So what? It's hero capacity +1. I think you get an automatic capacity of 1, but you can't recruit them without the building. So we should be able to get 2 wizards straight away. Wizards are awesome. They're absolute killing machines, depending on what one you're using. And it depends on how you play as well. So, there's basically 3 types, really. There's buff magic, there's killy magic, and there is healy magic. I don't really worry about the buffs. I always forget to use them anyway, so pretty rubbish on my part. That's one of the reasons why I'm not very good at actually playing this game. I focus on the killy wizards. And depending on the brand of wizard that you've got, will depend on the type of killy it is, and whether or not it's actually any good. Because there's a fair few that are just like, yeah, like Law of Metal, for example. It's supposed to be pretty killy, but it ain't. It's just not that good. For the amount of money you spend on your spells, they don't do enough. But if you do want to use Lord of Metal, and you want one that will do a lot of killy, ambush, yep, ambush, yeah, slaughtered. There we go. If you do, Balthazar Gelt for Law of Metal. Really good. He reduces all of the... we'll just take -2. He reduces all of the cost for all of your spells. So, very, very good. They become ridiculously cheap, and you can just spam them, and in the end, that's why it makes it good. Okay, so, Altdorf has a Wizard Temple Dealy. And now this is why it's so good. So when you actually go through like your Empire Captain, you'll have 3 Empire Captains, 4, maybe even 5 to choose from. Here I've got 2 Wizards of the Amber Wizard. 2 Greys, 2 Jade, 2 Bright, 2 Celestial, 2 Light, and 2 Amethyst Wizards. Now there's 3 traits that are worth it. When it comes to basically to your wizards, and it depends on what you're going to do with them. Now, for a Celestial Wizard who does I don't like Celestial magic. I think Celestial is absolute garbage. I think other people might like it, but I just don't think it really does the damage. But Disciplined is a very, very nice trait. That +2 melee attack to all units in your armies is basically more hitting power for everything in your army. So it's bloody good. So if you end up with 1 of each Disciplined in your army, that's +8 melee attack for everything else in there. So it's well worth it. But I don't think a Celestial Wizard's worth it. Light Wizards are actually pretty good. And this one here has very much a wanted trait. So more Winds of Magic for all of your armies faction wide. So the more of these things you have, the more magic power you can have, and the less enemy magic power that your enemy will have, at least in the local region. Interestingly, there is a bit of a Lord cheese you can do with that for certain races, notably the Skaven, where you can grab So say that here was knowledgeable. You take that. That gives your entire faction +5 magic. But instead of having to pay for having this expensive lord running around just to get 5 more magic, just disband him. And he just ends up back in your pool. And that +5 magic, it still affects your armies. But anyway, I digress. So that's Disciplined. Very, very good. Knowledgeable, very, very good. Third one that is the one that you really want to find out as well is this one here, Noble. Income from all buildings +10% local province. So that means if I put a Noble here, every one of these buildings, 10% more. Anything that makes me money, 10% more. I mean, it doesn't look like too much here at the moment. Wouldn't make that much of a difference. But when you've got, say, 10 of them standing around, all doing that, it's a whole different ball game. Very, very different. Now, normally, I'd be going hard at getting a Fire Wizard, but I actually do like light magic almost as much as I like fire magic. So I'm going to take this knowledgeable one here.
What do you want of me?
He's going to go up this way next turn and start stealing technology. And alongside him, we're going to take a Noble Wizard so that we can have...
Jade Wizard, the babbling brook.
He's Jade. See, he doesn't actually matter what we actually take because I'm not actually going to be using his magic. Jade Wizard, though, just for those, is a Healy Wizard. So he's got things like Life Bloom, Earth Blood, and he's got Regrowth. Yeah, that's a really good healing spell. These ones will do a little bit of damage, not that great though. I don't really like Jade magic. It's just not my thing. Coffee. But I do like what he does to my economy, so I'll see if that actually is going to change here. Nah, it's actually going to go down for now because I've recruited multiple. And so that is actually going to drag it down for now. And that's fine. I don't mind. The other thing is, as he gains levels, he's also got skills in here to boost income by a further 6%. So that'll be really good. On top, so that, and that's basically how you fix your empire's economy. As you go up, I'll be getting. So that's also why when I actually built this Wizards Conclave, there's another building here. It's a landmark building that is also a Wizards Conclave. That also lets me recruit wizards and gives me extra capacity for them. So it's all about I can increase the capacity for my wizards, and therefore I can have a lot of them. And because of the amount of them that appear here, getting the traits I want, so getting myself a noble wizard, there is a very high possibility that there will be one available when I have the option. So, so far in most of my campaigns, it's literally every time I've had the option, I've been able to get a noble wizard. So I end up with, I think one of them I've got about 15 or so of them standing around, a couple in armies that aren't nobles, and yeah, and they're just ambling about, doing their thing, showing each other their cock, standing there in the middle of the forest. I like to keep them kind of just there. If I put them over here, they're just out of the way then. But you can end up with a lot of heroes sort of all standing there with their thumb up their bum. You've just got to kind of get over that slide of when it seems like your economy is going to go down instead of up because of them. So, like right now, because I got a knowledgeable and a noble, economy went down slightly. But as I add more nobles to it, it'll go the other direction. So, it's all good. All good. When I actually do move on this fort, by then we might even have this guy on a Pegasus, which will be good. Don't quote me on that though. I can't do that because I don't have enough prestige. Okie dokie.
Preparing rites of exorcism.
Yep, preparing rites of exorcism, that's good. He looks like a complete fanatic there. I'm a nutter. Yeah, so his spells, he's got a couple other things like protection spells, net spells. Very good when you want to hold like when you overcast it, and it will affect a larger amount of enemies. Especially once I get some decent artillery, net a whole chunk and just pound it with artillery and banishment. Very good. It'll just kind of wander around destroying units and that sort of thing. Behind walls, direct damage spell, very good for destroying things like artillery and that sort of stuff. Overall, very, very good. So if I do start using buffing spells, he's got a plus 24 speed, plus 26 melee attack buff as well. So I do rate them. They do a decent amount of damage. You can go stand under there. Now I'm going to make a quick adjustment here so that we don't get no heroes moved announcements. Let's see. That's still 4,000, 4,000, 2,500, 3,000. I think we'll go for the money at the moment. More money buffs a lot of stuff. And off we go. We go to the races. I am concentrating on my growth mostly at the moment. So if we can get Altdorf up to level 4, then we can throw in a bit more, getting more noble hero cheese, and just getting that economy properly stabilized. At this point of the game, nothing really heavy is going to be coming for me anyway. I'm surprised I haven't seen any of the skull smashers or whatever other orcs may come our way appear, because a lot of the time they come through the pass, but their AI might have been modified recently because they were really just making a beeline for it, and it didn't make a lot of sense because they were going through all this Bretonian lands, and they were just like ignoring everything else. So it was a bit confusing. So didn't make sense. Essentially they were ignoring a whole bunch of other enemies that they could fight just so they could come for you. So the reason these secessionists can recruit here, by the way, is because you, at these base buildings, just like here, I think, on Altdorf, you can recruit spearmen and archers. They're both rubbish units. They're both bottom tier, but that's fine. As long as I kill a lot of them, I can manage to improve myself. So, what he's going to do is steal technology for me. And he's managed it. Good work. So we'll give him that. And we'll spam our way through there. What do we have here? This is... Oh, we've got our gunnery school now. So we will... Oops, that reminds me. So, one of the things with Empire...
The Empire.
Well, with all of them, you've got several kinds of recruiting. You've got local, which is what I can recruit from my local buildings. Global is only if you're encamped or anything like that, but it also means I can recruit from anywhere on the map using global.
By the comet.
You've got regiments of renown, where you've got to get to certain levels to unlock new regiments and that sort of thing. As you get higher, so level 26, you get the Sunmaker, which is a rocket battery and that sort of stuff. And the Empire have gotten the Elector Count State Troops. Now these are these basically are great swords, but with extra bits. So what I am going to do now is actually recruit one, and as compensation, I'm getting rid of them. And I'm also going to, if I go into recruitment, I won't be in ambush. We'll stay in ambush stance. We don't really. So while I do, I've got the level 1 of that. I can get mortars, but I don't really need them yet. It's probably because I'll take a great cannon and a couple of hellstorms once we get upper rank, which is still 5 turns away before we can start doing that. We've still got our 2 grand, but those Karaberg's great swords make a big difference. You can't spam recruit them though. As you can see, 15 turns before I can get another one. As I bring other elector counts in, I'll be able to sometimes get some of these other units as well. Things like your Emperor's Wrath, very, very nice steam tank. There's the Outriders with grenade launchers. They are ridiculously awesome anti-infantry cavalry. They are absolutely crazy. I haven't had a chance to use those guys. Melee defense on them's a bit low. They normally are for knights. Suitson's guns, very, very good. I mean, it's just a mortar, but there's no friendly fire, so you can blob up nicely, get a big group of them together, and just mortar the shit out of them. Without having to worry a jot about friendly fire. Alright, let's continue on. Pretty sure I've still only got the 2 wizards I can have at the moment. That's alright. We've still only got our essentially 2 enemies in the skull smashing orcs and our secessionists. And that is fine by me. Most people would try and go through Helmgart and take it over. I like to use it to level up my light wizard, or my combat wizard, I should say. Because he'll be later on joining the army once he's actually gotten a few levels into him. And able to do things like cast banishment, and maybe on his Pegasus as well. Haven't decided yet. Well, when I actually go in to take Helmgart, he'll be fighting inside the army. It also means he's a bit of a scout there as well. Just in case those skull smashers do decide to come and play. And once if I did take Helm Guard, honestly, there is not. It comes down to after that you're doing a lot of diplomacy and just that sort of shit. So I'm kind of at least trying to, you know, get some ambushy levels up. Alright, with that we'll move to assembly line because we want Imperial University. So won't that be a lovely place to go? Imperial University. Alright, we'll move him a little bit again.
Let's go.
Just like that.
I am France.
There we go.
They will obey.
Settlement. No, we're still not going to do anything with the settlement. I'm going to violate my rules, maybe. That will actually add to growth as well. Only a little bit, though. Does make a bit of difference. Decisions. I think we're probably due for a dilemma fairly soon, so I might just... I'll play it safe.
No master. Destroy.
Try and steal some more of his technology. There we go. So yes, like I said, it's a bit of a slow starter. And it's not going to be too interesting. Probably the rest of the video, I'd say probably skip the rest of the video. There's only going to be about another 20 minutes of me doing pretty much this, I'd say. Main reason I want to do this at this point is once I kind of get through and get more wizards and all that, get the more buildings in, then I will be it'll ramp up to proper campaigning afterwards. So that basically, where we're at now is the foundation that the rest of it gets built on, basically. No, but if you do decide you're going to leave, just like and subscribe anyway. Because I'm going to be a like and subscribe whore for a little while. Because I don't get a lot of that. Especially the subscribing. Tell your friends. Get them to view it as well. Even if they don't listen to it or actually watch it. Just get them to click on it, put it on mute, walk away for an hour. I think that would be fine with me. Ooh, we've encountered the Skull Takers. They should have been down here fighting against the Golden Order, I believe. Oh, come on. I'm not doing very well with those ambushes. What the fuck? Come on, Carl. Paint your armor green or something.
In the name of Magnus.
Yeah, I know the actual success chances isn't great out here. But if you can push past us like that, you can actually attack the city behind us. Just by going around me, and that's a bit annoying. Let's increase our money. Yeah, don't like it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
The nation calls.
Ooh, hello, tax rate plus 12% local province. Don't mind if I do. Pretty sure that's one for him. He's got that too. That would be a nice increase for us. We'll go with exorcism anyway. I don't really like it, but just a little buff that you get when you're casting. It affects all your allies. Oh, we got 2 points. I didn't notice. We'll grab Net of Amantok because I actually quite like Net of Amantok. One of those ones, it's just that little effect it's got. It's really, really handy. It's good to stop flankers so you can get troops in position or anything like that. Stop half an army and bombard it. Stop half an army, then bombard it with artillery and magic and everything in that little spot. Just to take out as much as possible. Use it in... who has it? Echi Claw's they've got a similar one for one of the types of magic. I think it's Ruin. Has Warp Blast or something like that. Wind Blast, something. And it basically, it holds units in place as well. So what you do is you get your units, the enemy units piling up a bit. You hit them with that, then you drop a nuke on them. Which is to wipe out extra units, you know. Unless you don't have that, just hit them with a Plague or Overcasted Crack or Plague Breath. Something like that. Any of those will do. Something that'll kill a bunch of them. Because let's face it, our goal here is kill a bunch of them. So that's not looking so good. Having him down there. We are going to have to try and get rid of him. Oh, excellent. Our ambush worked this time. So we should... be able to hit them, I'd say. Okay, so... Good. Fealty of Talcland will go up by 1. We'll do that. Our money does not really get spent well. That's alright. Okay. Picked up that. Item drop chances up. Shoo, I don't really like that army. What's Isleheart got? It's got 12.
Attack!
See if we can at least get him to run out of here. Oh no, that's looking alright. There's lots of Savage Rock boys. That's right, we won't lose anything.
Make haste, men.
Oh, Potion of Healing, hello.
Now.
We'll take that.
Onwards.
The only issue here now is Uberstreak does not have defences, and it's basically wide open now.
I
So.
am a soul keeper. Send it back through time.
That's alright. It's alright. So if we go here and we have a look through here again, as you can see, we already have another Noble Wizard waiting. Still have that disciplined one there. So yeah, getting another Noble, no problems at all. If he stays there, we'll probably send Carl after him next turn.
Summon the Elector Counts.
Alright, let's get Lightning Strike and Quartermaster. Getting through that nicely with him, I think. I meant to give Carl that Potion of Healing, because that would be really handy for him. So keeping your province like this just together, it's quite easy. I normally end up taking over half of Bretonia or something by about turn 50, maybe 60. Because I do run a bit of the slow play, because I like to have everything set up first. I don't know if that would work well on legendary difficulty, probably not. That's okay. I don't play legendary difficulty, so I'm not going to pretend I'm good enough to play legendary difficulty. Ooh, underway interception. Take that. That should wipe them out. Beautiful. And we got a Dragon Helm. It's funny, there's a lot of stuff that in the game that will give you fire resistance, and yet I almost come across nothing that really causes lots of fire damage, except for some of the dwarven things. We will take more Imperial Authority, so we're up to 3 now with Imperial Authority. Now, for those not in the know, and that's fair enough if you're not really,
I see no other option.
when these guys reach number 10, and they go, we want to join you. And you go, yes, sure, I'd love it. Bring it on. We will be friends forever, and no one shall ever tear us apart. They take away 3 of your Imperial authority as well. You don't want to go into minuses because you start losing cash. Look at all that. Okay, and you can start a civil war if you go down far enough. So you want to keep that in the plus. I like to keep it so that, yeah, if I confederate, I'll go to 0 and no lower. Again, I play cautiously. I'm not going to say. Bit of a nervous Nelly when it comes to these things. We will upgrade EU, I think. No, we will not. We will be upgrading that next turn, so we will hold off. Getting more money from our port next turn as well. Did I remember to steal technology? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. See, dwarves confederate with Barakvar. Why won't they confederate with me? I've got my in my dwarf campaign, I want to confederate with Barakvar. They're not interested. They're just like, nah, stuff you. It's like, come on. I'll be your friend. Jerks. So in those fleeting glimpses I've had of Marienburg, it looks like they have a little guy called Felix in their army, which means somewhere along the way they've managed to pick up the Gotrek and Felix that sometimes appear for you to recruit. So only lasts for 20 turns with your armies, in your armies. So Gotrek's a lord, Felix is a hero. They're really good at fighting and all that sort of stuff, but they only hang around for 20 turns. They'll come back again, but it's like I don't like the unreliability of that. Maybe it's just because, again, I'm such a nervous Nelly of a player. Need all my ducks in a row and all that. Chaos is stirring already. Got themselves a nice big pot of goulash up north, and they're having a stir of it. It's all looking pretty good. We'll be at.
Watch it crumble.
So that will mean by turn 30 we are at level 4 with Altdorf, and that will be a fantastic spot to be in. How are we doing? We're going to trade or what?
No, sir.
Fuck me. What do you need to be able to trade with me? You fucking bastard. Oh, whatever.
Aye.
Dwarves.
What brings you to the halls of my ancestors?
You don't want to trade either, which is unusual for you. Oh well. That is fine. 265 prestige. So we're not far off the end of this episode now. We're aiming towards level 4. We'll have that second wizard building in. Some more heroes. Really all I need for my army is infantry, an artillery, and a wizard. That's all I need. So I don't need to build horse barracks and other shit like that. I will build the... so there's a building that allows you to have the great swords. Pooh, I lost my trade agreement with Kislev. Which is the forge. I'm not going to get that yet because I can just deal with having normal swordsmen for quite a while. That's not really a problem. Great swords are really, really good, but right now, don't really need them too badly. He's doing that again. That's fine.
I am Prince
Oh, what have we got? Sterling +1 or Talib clan +1. I don't think I want to. Because then they'll ask to confederate straight away. Yeah, let's return it, because that'll benefit me, because I can take over those lands tomorrow with my next turn. Then who's really benefited? I'm actually going to finally put this up, but I'm not going to put walls in there. So because this will allow us to have things like great swords, when I upgrade that, great swords, I'll put that into Ubershriek. I'll probably get rid of the weaving house. Well, actually, I'll leave the weaving house for a moment, because I don't want them to actually have walls. Leave them vulnerable. Leave them vulnerable.
Yes, to unite the provinces.
Okay, so next turn, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, they're at 10, so I will be offered all of that to become mine and their army, which point I will be completely broke. But because it'll be massive minuses, because they've probably got like 3 armies or something stupid like that your economy can't actually manage to hold on to. But, you know, that doesn't really matter all that much, because, yeah, my economy is going to go tanky, but I don't actually need those armies for anything. I don't really need them to defend those lands at this point. One small army just sort of hanging about will do, because I'm not surrounded by enemies at all. Like, there's no enemies bordering on me, except through this pass into Helmgard. So I can just have a little tiny army, probably just half strength, hanging around to try and keep a bit of public order. And yeah, that'll be it, really. All it'll really need to do. So that's how the fealty system works. So it makes putting the empire back together quite easy. Oh, they've gone to war with me. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. Whatevs, man. That's another enemy at that same spot. So, oh, I forgot to steal technology. I do need to put up post-it notes when I'm doing things. Now that brings that does put a little bit of an onion in the ointment here, because while that's working nicely, those dwarves may not go for that same town. Alright, so you can see here, -3 if I confederate with them, +1 if I leave it for another 20 turns. I've got 4 at the moment, so I'll still have the +1 bonuses, so let's do it. Watch as that 2600 goes into the red. Oh, that didn't quite go into the red. What do you know? Alright, so now we've got Talab clan. That gives us all of these little... They don't actually have an army. What the fuck? Oh no, they do have an army all the way. Why do we have Zavastra and Kislev? Oh, okay. That's a bit retarded. Okay. Let's start by destroying a couple of buildings we definitely don't need. Now, you're rank 4. One in everything. Fantastic. You're rank 3. Just one in those two. So what we want to do is get these two together, basically. We're going to dump all of the things into one army, and we're going to have to use that to hold Kislev. Now, down here, we don't need that. Awesome Arrows and Knights of the Blazing Sun are at attacking, they're bad at defending, so we also don't need that. We'll repair that. You can lose the growth building so that we can put walls in. And you are a noble. Lovely. We have another noble captain. He can head off that direction. That's very helpful. How unusual. This is not going to be very helpful all the way out here, though. What are you? You are a strong captain. You can go bye-byes. So that army will join that army. Simple as that. Well, that all that confederation's okay. It's not exactly what I wanted. We will upgrade that there. So here we can hire captains and witch hunters. Oh, beautiful. Another noble. We'll take him. And we will send him over here as well.
Who calls?
You steal technology. You're not very good at it, but that's okay. Carl gets another little bit of quartermastering, so that's also helpful. We have almost no money, so I've gone and spent it all. An unassigned skill point for him, another point into the net of Amontok. Lord has not moved. We'll put him back into that stance. Okay, you can have growth and tax rate. +9. The good thing about confederating under the elect account system is you don't have the usual penalties you get. So when you confederate normally, you have penalties involved. The main penalty we're going to be having from this is I'm going to be getting fucking chaos come along and trying to wreck me. And that is not what I want. Okay, so I'll be able to build walls there. Probably not next turn. Oh, actually, I might be able to. I'm destroying a whole heap of buildings, and that'll get me some money. Basically, it'll be walls, 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 hope. A lot of hope. But we've managed to pick up 2 more nobles. That's very, very good. I didn't actually check to see whether or not there was another one there. No, there isn't. That's a disciplined one, so we might pick him up next turn. I did that. Alright, so that's where we're at for now. Our economy is a bit in the shitter at the end of that. Just because of my confederations. But otherwise, we are actually looking on a very positive side. With the nobles, that's going to settle down quite well. We have our wizards, and they're leveling up now as well. Oh, there's a fire wizard that's knowledgeable now. I want him. I just love fire spells. Yeah, what was I talking about again? Yeah. So that is going to be it for this episode. Next time we will continue expanding on that, and we'll be moving into more combat orientated discussions, maybe tactics and that sort of stuff, things we do that of that nature, reasons why we do certain things in combat and that sort of thing. And so basically, if I still concentrate on making money and hiring nobles, the economy will sort itself out. While I am here, though, let's see if we can get any trade deals. So that'd be a real big bonus. Not with them.
It is good to see fellow sons and blessings.
Oh, lovely. Yes. They finally took that. That's good.
What?
Hochland probably won't.
The Empire.
Nordland won't
listen,
either, but
but
we'll
my
try
time
and get that.
approves action.
Okay.
Kislev,
Kislev.
you will drink with us.
Trade. Yeah, we go. So that'll help our economy a fair bit. There we go. Back up to 1500 coming up. Cool. All right. Well, as I already said, hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, all that sort of MacGuffins. And I will look forward to the next episode once I work out exactly how I'm going to do it. So until then, goodbye.